Good morning, YouTube community. Hope everyone's doing well. I was thinking about doing something different with this channel. I know we are a hockey channel, and those of you who are confused, what I do is I love hockey, and my wife is sick of me talking about hockey all the time, and I live in Ohio, not a big hockey market, so I have decided to start this channel so I can have people to talk to about hockey. Because in Ohio, it's like you have a group of Blue Jackets fans, and it seems like Ohio is really not a big hockey market. So I decided it's off season. There's really nothing going on in the off season. I think the season's over, the Stanley Cup's over, I think all but one or two major free agents have signed, so there's really no more big name free agents out there. So I was thinking and I was thinking it's the off season, since it's the off season, and last week me and my wife, we went up to the beach. Uh, so in between going to the beach last week, of course, was Shark Week, which I enjoyed, by the way. And I have no idea why my camera. This is a very amateur run channel, so I have I have technical issues quite a bit. So, like that, my camera just froze. So anyways, between Shark Week, going to the beach, and I did fish from sharks, and sharks fascinate me. I've always for like the last, I think for like the last 6 to 8 years, I've really grown a deep fascination for the ocean and for sharks. So, with that being said, these next few videos will have to do with sharks. And the first one I like to kick off with is last week while I was on the beach, I was sitting at beach with sitting on the beach with my wife, and as I was watching the beachgoers go in and out of the ocean, and I thought, what better book to read than about a shark? Um, but I don't know if you could really consider it reading, because I did listen to the audiobook and not read the actual book. So I don't know if you can consider that reading or not. But the book of choice last week was The Meg by Steve Alton. And those of you who know, was turned into a movie about a few years ago starring Jason Statham, and I think the sequel is coming out next year, The Trench. So I thought while the book and movie was still fresh in my mind, I am going to do a book movie comparison of the two. And of course, as I said before, this is a very amateur run YouTube channel. Um, and so there's not going to be any movie effects, because number one, I don't know how to do those, and number two, I don't know whether you have to pay to get those, so I don't want a copyright violation. So I am just going to do the handy dandy dry erase board. So the book to movie comparison, I want to point out maybe 5 or 6 differences between the movie and the book. And the first one, let's write this up here. Hope you can see this. It's Jonas Taylor. Jonas Taylor, of course, was the main character in both the novel and the book. the movie and the novel paints Jonas as two totally different pictures. In the novel, Jonas Taylor, what used to be a Navy pilot, but he went out, got his PhD, and he's studying, I think, archaeology or something along those lines, or a marine biology. Yeah, marine biology. So the book kind of paints a picture of Jonas Taylor. It's kind of gives it like a dark, depressing vibe to him. Why Jonas used to be a Navy pilot. He was very good at his job, and he went on a dive with a submarine, and he encountered a Meg. Well, he was scared. He panicked. He freaked out. He had an accident, and as a result, he killed the two people that was with him as a result of this accident. So and then he got his he then there was a stipulation where he was where they were determining whether he was mentally fit or not to to land this to do this dive. So you have Jonas Taylor, is which is kind of he he is painted as military this disgraced naval pilot who has been dishonorably discharged, and everyone in the Navy thought he had a mental break. But he turns to biology to prove that the megalodon is in fact still real, and that he has ultimately decided to pursue marine biology to kind of prove to everyone that he's not crazy, and kind of as a coping mechanism. And then you have the movie version with Jason Statham. Jason Statham, um, circumstances are different. We get introduced as he is living on an island, drinking beer. He does not have his PhD. He is not a marine biologist in this movie, and it is, and I don't know whether he was a disgraced military pilot. I really don't know. It really doesn't go into that much. But his circumstances were he was he was on the submarine. He saw the Meg. He sacrificed two of his friends to save the rest of the crew. So the beginning of so we see Jonas Taylor as kind of a different character. Um, you, you don't get the sense of the progression that sets in with him as you do with a book. So the movie and book versions of Jonas is very different. Let me erase this. The next character I want to look at is Maggie Taylor. Excuse me, oh, there we go. My pen just dropped. Maggie Taylor in the book is Jonas Taylor's estranged wife, and she was kind of a major character in this movie or in the book, and of course she was pursuing her career. You kind of get the sense that Maggie kind of was selfish and in pursuing her career, which ultimately in the book cost her her life as she was eaten by the Meg. Um, but but in the book, Maggie is a very very minor character. She's really not involved at all. You get the sense that whenever she was married to Jonas, but they're divorced, but they were still friendly. In the book, they're estranged, they're not divorced, and they're not friendly towards each other. They're not exactly hostile, but they're not friendly. You can tell the Steve Alton paints a picture where Maggie and Jonas's relationship is definitely strained, and they are heading into divorce. Um, but Lori, they're friend. Like I said, they're friendly, and and Lori does survive in the movie, whereas Maggie, of course, dies. She gets eaten by Megalodon. But it's yeah. So Lori and Maggie are also characters that are extremely different in this movie. All right, I told you this was the amateur run page. All right, the next one I want to look at is the main character of this movie, the Meg. All right, so we have the Meg, which is of course the gigantic prehistoric shark that this movie was based off of. So we have the Meg in the book. In Jonas, I think Jonas was giving this illustration as kind of a class, and in this class he was painting the Meg as or a lecture as this gigantic prehistoric monster that a T Rex was chasing its prey. T Rex gets caught. The Meg eats the T Rex. In in the in the film, it omits all that. You don't see this. You don't see this picture of this shark eating a T Rex, but it kind of skips to that. Um, and also in the book, it's you're dealing with a pregnant female who gives birth the who gives birth during the novel, and I think out of her, I want to say she had at least three pups. I know one of them she ate because I guess one was weaker than the other, so she ate it. Um, One was attacked and killed by a pack of killer whales, and then the third one survives, and it was another female, and it's another female, and that this another and it survives till the end of the book. And then you got the Meg in the movie, which the first Meg they killed, and then there's another bigger Meg that jumps in a boat and eats the dead Meg. So you have two Megs in this book. And then I think it's like the death of this Meg in the book is different than the death of the last Meg in the movie. And in the last movie, you see Jonas cutting the shark open, and then the shark, what, something or another, the shark dives, Jonas stabs it in the eye, shark falls and gets eaten by other sharks. In the Meg, in the novel, Jonas dives in the shark, finds some well blubber and sets it on fire from the inside. So the death of the Meg and the death of the Meg in the novel is totally different from the death in the Meg in the movie. So what other? I am going to have to wrap this up soon. Last one. There is a lot of differences I want to look at. DJ. In the movie, DJ was this. He was kind of the comic relief. He was kind of the comic relief in this movie. In the novel, he was Tanaka's son. Um, and whereas DJ survived till the end, DJ Tanaka was kind of was eaten by the Meg and ultimately killed. So that's a difference. And that is the difference in the novel version of DJ and then the book and then the movie version of DJ. Uh, and then another fact I want to point out that I think is another fact I want to point out about this book and difference is between the book and the novel is I am going to wrap this up, so I'm not going to write any more on the board. All right, is you got Bud. Bud is the millionaire who is funding all this. I think his name is Jack in the movie. Jack is played by Rainn Wilson, who also plays Dwight Schrute, by the way. But you got Bud in the book, who is Jonas's best friend, who ultimately Maggie has an affair with, and and then as Maggie's death, Jonas or Bud decides that life is not worth living without Maggie, ultimately ends his life. And then you have Jack, Jim. I forget what his name is, but you have Jim, Jack, Jason, uh, who ultimately gets eaten by the Meg, who gets thrown overboard of a ship, who ultimately gets eaten by the Meg, and so there are other differences like Heller, um, who is a doctor in the movie, but in the book he is just his old retired grumpy military guy who and both in the book and the movie they have a deep hatred for Jonas Taylor. Um, in the book, you're in the book the in the book it was they were Japanese and in the film the characters were Chinese. In other words, in the book it's Tanaka. In the film, I forget which the names exactly, but they were dealing, but it was Chinese compared to Japanese in the book. And then you have other very very differences, subtle differences, Like the Meg takes place in the Mariana Trench in the book where they first discovered the Meg, and then the Philippine Trench in the movie whenever they discover the Meg in the movie. And if my mind serves me right, I think that is all the differences that I spot. Um, of course, I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just going to end it. I'm just going to end it. I have to say, I enjoy them both. Um, yeah, and I don't know how to end this video, but if there is another difference that you spot that I have missed, and I'll probably think of some after I end this video, and it'll drive me crazy. But if there is another difference that you spot, comment below this video. Hope you enjoy this video. And I don't there are some hockey content that I am going to dive down into this summer. There might be a couple more. I want to read a couple more books and do some more movie comparisons. I know, I know two of which is Jaws, probably The Godfather, even though The Godfather's like 20, 27 hours long. But but anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. God bless. And this is thank you, John. Thank you for watching John rambles on about sharks. Bye now.